I haven't read Bizarro as widely as a lot of people have, but I've probably read it more widely than say the general population.
Sure.
One thing that I see come up, not all the time, but enough to where it jumped out at me when we were reading here, is the this category of culture called as seen on TV.
Ah,
And for a
yes.
lot of people, it's just a shelf in the store. It's just nostalgia from late night '80s or whatever.
Hmm.
It feels like for the absurdist or bizarro writer that there's something bigger there that maybe resonates with them. And then it becomes a tool, I guess, in the way that a zombie can be a tool for a horror writer to sort of
Hmm.
reflect society however they want. This sort of like broad, strange, as seen on TV category seems to resonate with bizarro writers and readers in a way that represents something much, much bigger and maybe even much more sinister about society than most people derive from what that phrase brings up. I guess broadly, what is that? If you could define it for me, and then what was it for you? I guess in this particular story.
You make a really interesting point in that, like, zombies are used often as a tool by a horror writer, and the generally accepted sort of metaphor there is like consumerism, like mindless consumerism, or the crowd, the crowd mentality. So I think it's used similarly. I think that especially, again, people of my generation have an obsession with that sort of late night infomercial thing. And I remember the TV being absolutely inundated with ads when I was a kid about all these things you could order away for and pay COD, send no money now,
Right.
and it was like such blatant on its face consumerism, like just thrust into your face. And I also grew up in, I was watching cartoons and cereal commercials and stuff every Saturday morning in the 80s and into the 90s. Like our entire generation was obsessively sold to all the time. And as seen on TV, I think represents to us that sort of the ludicrous degree to which commercialism had infested everything in our lives. Like it's this whole line of products that you don't actually need. They manufacture problems and then tell you that they've created the solution. I was talking to my publisher about this actually on a podcast not long ago, and said, that's the thing about infomercials is they create problems that nobody has. Like you'll see someone in a commercial opening a cereal box and the cereal will fly everywhere and the bowl will go flying and hit the dog and the spoon will like fly up into the ceiling and stick into the stucco. You're like, that's never happened to anybody. But according to the infomercial, you need this fancy lid that you can put on your cereal bowl that covers half of it so you don't, like, your cereal doesn't explode in the kitchen. I'm like, that's not a problem anyone's ever had. But this hyper consumerism has forced them to go, well, we're going to make up a problem so we can sell more crap. So I think that's part of it. Is it's just like we grew up so blasted over and over again by consumerism, and the inflation rate has so outpaced the wage rate, and we're just financially, Gen Y and below are in such dire straits these days. And it's like we see that looking back as this sort of this weird cancer on our generation. And I think as seen on TV is just a really kind of funny, kind of sad manifestation of it. So I think it's really easy to use it as a tool and going, this hyper consumerism taken to a ridiculous degree, like these amazing products that nobody needs, that fulfill no actual need. I remember going to the Mall of America when I was a kid and seeing an as seen on TV store, which actually negates the whole point of as seen on TV because you're supposed to order it from the TV, but now you can just go to the mall and order the product that you saw on TV, but you can get it in the store. It's just this tangled web of consumerism, and it makes a very easy tool for villainy, I think.